Your evaluation should be as creative as possible and show your progression in creating your magazine pages as well as answering the evaluation questions. With this in mind, this tutorial will show you how you can use Photoshop to prepare your images and then use a simple movie editor like iMovie to create a creative presentation of your work. Let's get started by opening our magazine pages in Photoshop. If you haven't already, you should also have saved a JPEG copy of each of your pages as well as your Photoshop copies. This can be done by going to File, Save As, and in the Format box changing the format from PSD to JPEG. You might want to give this a new title such as Final Cover Eval to remind you of what the image is. In your evaluation, you will want to refer to not only the pages as a whole, but also pick out key points such as the headline, the boost, or the title, and talk in detail about these elements. We can crop these elements out using the crop tool, which can be found in the toolbar. Simply draw around the element you want to single out and press enter when you are happy with your selection. Then save this again with a new name as a JPEG image. Those working on a Mac might want to try using the selective print screen option, which can be done by pressing Command, Shift and 4 and again drawing around the element you want to single out. This will save a JPEG of the singled out element onto your desktop. It's a good idea to rename these elements straight away so you know which image is which on your desktop. We also want to show the progress of your work. If you've been keeping screenshots of each stage of your development, then you can use these in your evaluation. Or if not, we can use Photoshop to hide layers and show your progression this way. Make sure you have the Photoshop copy of your work open. Also make sure the layer bar is open. If you cannot see it, go to Window, Layers to open it. Layers can be hidden or shown again by clicking on the eye icon next to the corresponding layer you want to hide. We can then save a JPEG copy of the page with the elements hidden and then bring back one layer at a time by clicking where the eye should be in the layer palette. Saving a new JPEG copy with a new name, then revealing another element, and so on. Once you have collected all of the elements of your pages that you want to talk about, we can have a look at how we will add them to an iMovie project. If iMovie isn't featured in the dock on the Apple Mac, you can type iMovie into the search spotlight at the top of the screen and open it that way. Once open, the first thing you'll want to bring in is your audio track. Hopefully by this point you will have gone away and recorded your audio for your evaluation. This can be done at home if you have a microphone on your laptop or a device that records audio. If not, we'll be happy to help by supplying you with a dictaphone. Once you have the MP3 file, you can simply drag this onto your project bar at the top of the iMovie window. You can then begin to drag your JPEG images into the same project window, aligning them to the relevant audio section of your evaluation. You might want to create some titles or small pieces of text in Photoshop, again saving them as JPEGs when you feel it's relevant to drag it into the window as well. You will need to turn off the Ken Burns effect for each image you drag in. If you don't, you'll be left with the annoying effect of slowly zooming into each image. To do this, double-click the small crop icon in the thumbnail for each of your images in the project bar, then in the viewer, click the Fit button, which will fit your image to the screen, and then click Done. You can change the timing of each of your images, so how long they stay on the screen, by clicking the small cog in the lower left-hand corner of the thumbnail for each of the images and selecting the Clip Properties. This will bring up an inspector box where you'll be able to change the duration of the image you've selected, so from 4 seconds to 12 seconds. You should now be able to build up your evaluation, dragging your images into the iMovie project window and aligning them to your audio. Remember, the more visual you make it, the better this will come across. You should also be dragging in charts from your research as well as relevant quotes. You might also choose to include some public feedback on your magazine, which could be brought in either as a movie if you choose to video this, or audio. Once you are happy and finished with your evaluation, you can export your video ready for YouTube. To do this, go to Share, Export Movie. Choose the large option and title your evaluation and click Export. You will be left with a file that is ready to be exported to YouTube. Make sure that you have a YouTube account ready and follow the screen instructions for uploading this to the web.